Philos Usafi. I be me to show you how to be thee. What's poppin'? I hope everyone's having a great day today. We're about to get into this real quick. What are we gonna do today? Today I'm gonna break down some spells, yo. We're gonna destroy some ideologies. Some people aren't gonna like this. Some people are gonna love this. Oh. We're gonna break some shit down today, right? We're gonna build a little bit. We're building. Right? We talked about grouping. We got that out of the way, right? So now we're gonna break some of the next level of spells here, and I'm gonna show you that this shit is not real, right? The things that you are subscribing to, a lot of these things are not real. We're gonna break all this shit down today. We're gonna break it down, right? First thing we gotta talk about being, right? And when I say being, on this real sense, and when you're aware, we're talking about making this a lifestyle. I'm talking about making being a lifestyle. What does that mean? That means that we're not going to be treating this, peace and love, we're not going to be treating this like a religion, right? This is not a religion. Spirituality and being is not a religion. I'm going to say that in the realest way. It is not a religion. And for all the people trying to make it a religion, we need to step back and look at religion, right? You gotta step back and look at what being is, right? What does it mean to be, and what does it mean to do? Are you a beer or a doer? Now, this is where we're gonna start. Religion is based on doers. Now let me show you. There's no such thing as good and evil. There's only variations of the two, right? There's no such thing as good and evil. Because you could see the most evil person in a sense, but in someone else's perspective, they might have been doing good. So there's no such thing as good and evil. We got to break this down so you can understand why I'm talking about this and how it refers to being, right? So if there's no such thing as good and evil, I'm going to show you right now why there's no such thing as good and evil. Now, when we look at the character of Jesus from the Bible, right? If we jumped into that time perspective and that reality, Jesus was being the devil. Jesus was being a doer, not a beer. In that reality, when you look at the story, if he was being a beer, he would have been chilling with Caesar, doing that whole nonsense. But he was being a doer. Now, when you're a doer, right, you have to take on responsibility for your actions. So now, when we say that, it means that you're taking on perspective of others. Right? So in no sense of the word and the way, is there any way that anyone could be good or evil? No one can be telling the truth or a lie, because if someone's lying to you, they're just telling you a truth about themselves. So within all of these dualities that we keep trying to conversate about, that we keep trying to wrap our minds in, there's really no such thing as duality. Everything gives you the answer properly. So when we talk about good and evil, when we talk about spirituality and religion, when we talk about any of this stuff, you're not talking about anything. You're just talking about the same thing. We're talking about nothing. That's why it's all about being, right? It's about being, not about doing, right? So if I'm a quote unquote spiritually inclined person, I just be with myself. I embody that, right? I'm aware. I be in my awareness. Right? There's no such thing as the duality that we're talking about. Because a sick person can always be healed, right? So they're never 100% sick, right? Because if I have a sickness somewhere in my body, somewhere else in my body is still okay. So am I 100% sick? Can you ever be 100% wrong? Is it ever 100% dark? No. There's no such thing as any of these things. There's no such thing, right? So we have to stop living in duality. This goes on with my grouping conversation, right? So the more we start grouping, the more we start living in paradoxes, right? So the only way to separate myself from paradoxes and separate myself from paradoxical arguments is to stop grouping and to start being and stop associating doing with being. Doing means that you're going out of your way to consciously do something, right? So right now, I'm being, right? I'm in this field right here, I'm being, right? However, if I go and decide that I need closure in an encampment and I cut down this tree and build something, right? I'm officially doing it, right? So once I begin to do this, I now take on perspective from the people around me. Hence why you can all of a sudden become a demon to someone else in their perspective. When in your reality, you're just trying to create an enclosure for yourself. Do you understand why this is what we're doing? Do you understand where I'm getting with this? That it's not about doing. There's nothing in life that you should ever do. Whenever you're doing something, you're taking on a perspective. You're leaving yourself open for perspectives that you don't want to be a part of. Whenever you be, it's organic. Peace. Right? You just are organically doing what you want to do. You're being in your moment. You're being in that moment. Right? So this is why we got to break down these religions. Right? Because Jesus was nothing but the devil to that reality that he was in. That's why they crucified him, right? So if Jesus was being God, if Jesus was being, right? No one would have had a problem with him in that reality, because everyone was following Caesar, right? So Jesus just being in that situation would have made him follow Caesar. However, Jesus was a doer. He took on responsibility of actions that had perspectives from others, right? So he was doing, he was enforcing onto, he was creating. So we look at, right? We have to question what's going on around us, because there's a lot of people that are being in this illusion that you could say that it's not about being the beer, it's about being the doer. Whoa, that's why I'm questioning this. So is it in your intention, and is it really in you to be in this form of consciousness? And that's the thing that we all have to ask ourselves the question. Are you being when you're in this form of consciousness? But if you feel like you're always doing inside of a certain idea, like if you got to do something, right? If you don't eat meat anymore, but you got to like do it to not eat meat, right? Then you probably aren't ready for that. That's not in your conscious understanding, right? I think everyone needs to start taking their steps properly. We have a lot of people taking steps that might not be on their path yet, but that's okay. I'm not here to take you down. I'm here to show you how to be through me, but not be me, but be thee. Do you understand where I'm going with this, right? So are you doing or are you being within your conscious reality? Because there's the greatest difference between the two. And once we can start to really comprehend the difference, you can control your reality a little bit more. You can start to control your vortex. Because what we have right now is you have a lot of people getting caught up in energy, right? Because energy is gravitational, right? It pulls you in, right? So if there's a lot of hype on something, right? You listen to a song. If a certain song has a lot of hype behind it, when you hear it, you're gonna like it. Even if you don't really like the song, for some reason the hype pulls you into this band, right? Pulls you into this concert. Energy has a suction cup to it, right? So what I'm here to try and talk to people about, and talk to you guys about, is how to really understand how it is that you be. How are you being? How much time are you spending contradicting, and not contradicting, but like looking critically at the things that you're doing and understanding if that's you being, right? Because I have a lot of people that are doing things. However, I'm not sure if a lot of people are being within what they're doing. And I want everyone to have confidence, because when I'm being, I'm confident in being, right? When you're being you, you're confident in being you. And we need to have a lot more people confident in their being in order to step forward and to make this jump, right? Because we're all ascending. It takes confidence to ascend in a sense, right? But if I don't have confidence in my being and I'm doing a lot of doing, then I'm not going to really hit the peaks that I'm trying to hit. And I'm going to hit a lot more frequency, right? It's not going to be as stable for me. So I'm trying to make sure that the people that are around and the people that are viewing me, right, are understanding how frequency works. Because once we learn how to frequent our being and not frequent our doing, we'll start to understand how to find our line, right? Because doing a lot doesn't always mean it's going to help you be better, right? It just means that you're doing a lot. But is that your being, right? That's why we need to start understanding astrology. Really, astrological energy really needs to be looked into. right? You need as many any tool that helps you learn about yourself and makes you think critically about who you are, you need. You need numerology. You need to start looking at everyone as a lesson. Why? Because once I start doing all this, I start to critically think about things. And that's where a lot of us need to start, right? A lot of us need to start our journey from critical thinking. Because a lot of people just get a lot of information and then just start just going crazy with it. No, just critically think first. Critically think first. What makes sense in your timeline? I said yesterday, don't let anyone hijack your timeline. No one hijacks your timeline, right? We're fourth dimensional beings. Anyone who made the jump in the last eclipse is a fourth dimensional being. You understand what I mean when I say that. You control your timeline, because what's fourth dimensional things, right? Third dimensional are things that I can experience, see, that are in 3D, right? Fourth dimensional is time, thought, things that you can't see within your eye, but you know they exist. It's a realm of reality, right? Like if I can have the same thought as someone 5,000 miles away from me, right? That's because thought is a fourth dimensional thing. Thought is not a being, and thought is not particular to one person. Thought becomes a fourth dimensional thing, a fourth dimensional body, another level of this realm. Now, this is gonna freak people out. Now, fifth dimension, right? Fifth dimension, how to be a fifth dimensional being is when you start to have thought. Your fourth dimension, so you're overseeing, you're having thought, and then you can start to enforce your information onto the facility around you. A lot of light workers are fifth dimensional beings. You have the information, you were able to take in the experience of your surroundings, you're able to look at it critically. Now you can enforce it a bit. You can apply. You apply your knowledge to the things going on around you, right? Sixth dimensional just says now I can be the judge. Now I know once I've been able to enforce and empower, now I can now judge what is coming from this, in this reality, in this experience, right? So when we're trying to understand how to ascend, we gotta look at how to ascend within ourselves and understand the layers of reality, the layers of the things that we're thinking. So when we talk about the ether, when people talk about getting downloads, you're just being in tune with the fourth dimension in a sense. Right? You're being in tune with the thing that operates outside of sight, right? Just like I said in a video before, how do you know you're God? You know you're God when you think about someone and you think about them and then they reach out to you. You know you're God. You know there's a fourth dimension. We know there's a fourth dimension. There's a dimension above the third dimension. There has to be, right? If I think about someone and then they contact me, I know that some information got to them in some other form. There's got to be a different realm of reality that we're doing, right? So we got to break these spells. We got to understand how to be. And the only way to understand how to be is to understand where you are. Be starts with me. I got to see where I am. What is real to me? Then I can start to be. So, how do I get into this and how do I want to? How do you want to get into this? What are you subscribing to? Why can't we make spirituality a religion? Because we already saw what happened when people tried to turn spirituality into an indoctrinated dogma. What you do and not do in order to be spiritual. That's where it's about the be and the me. The be and the me will tell me how to be spiritually inclined, right? Some people don't need to sit down in full lotus in order to meditate, right? However, if every single person who meditates thinks they need to sit in a full lotus position to meditate, are you being, or are you adopting, or are you just doing something, or are you being? Questions. You have to figure out how to fit it into your ideology here, right? Because if we think about meditation, when I meditate, right, I usually sit like this, outside. Why? Because I have my feet grounded. Oh, hold on. I have my feet grounded, right? Here's my feet, they're grounded. I wrap my arms side to side here. Now, when I cross my arms across the plane of my body and I cross my other arm, that activates both realms of my brains, right? So that activates the right and left hemisphere of my brain. So, like, have you ever seen Brain Gym and things of this nature? Well, when they do brain gym, they have you cross hands over midline, right? Because that activates both hemispheres, right? So by me sitting and putting one arm here and one arm on the other side, I activate both hemispheres in my brain, right? That's brain gym stuff. Once I have my feet now flat on the ground, now I'm creating another energy of ground, so I'm grounding myself. Now, you are in a perfectly fine meditative position. You're perfectly plugged in and in tune. However, do I need to sit full lotus in order to be in a meditative position and meditate? No, I don't. You don't. Now you're doing, not being, right? So that's why we got to start to understand what's the difference between doing and being, right? And I'm using these little things because these are little things that everyone thinks about and everyone does because they're trying to be something, right? You don't have to do anything to be, in particular, to be spiritual. Being spiritual is just understanding that there's more to this reality than what meets the eye in the third dimension, and having a sense for it, right? That's why you can have people who eat meat who are still spiritually inclined. They still have an understanding. However, consciously they might not be as aware, right? But they still have a sense of things. They can still be spiritually inclined, but consciousness and spiritual inclination are two different things. We've all started to understand that when you've walked on this journey of consciousness. Being conscious to things and being spiritually inclined are a few different things. So what are you doing? What are you being? Where are you at in your journey? What's real for you right now? What's real for you? Right? When people talk about metaphysics and astral projecting and all that, if I'm sitting here but my thoughts are in another place, am I astral projecting? If I can move my thought in places, am I astral projecting? What am I doing? What am I doing? I can sit here and I can put my mind in Costa Rica right now. My mind's in Costa Rica right now. Am I astral projecting there? Right? So what are we doing and what are we being? How much of what we're saying are we being and doing, and where's the definition? Where are the lines? Who's creating your perspective and filter on what is right and wrong? Who's creating it, right? So for my people, right, we talk about awareness, right? We have awareness of health. You have proper awareness of things. That's what you need. You need awareness to expand consciousness. I need to be aware of things, right? If I'm aware of things that are healthy to eat, I expand my consciousness on that topic, right? However, I can expand my consciousness on spirituality and still be aware of more spiritually and still not be on the right spot with my diet and health-wise. That means I just moved my conscious awareness in one sense but not in the other. So what resonates with you, right? Because we're all on different life paths here. This is why I had to have this grouping conversation yesterday. This is why I had to have this vegan versus carnist thing. I have to talk about these things because there's no more warfare. I'm putting an end to warfare. No more ideological warfare. We're not going to get into these pseudo-religious warfare. We're not going to get into pseudo-political warfare. All this warfare, separation shit is bull. I'm done with it. I'm done. This is about unity. Some beings might not get the whole meat eating thing. They might not understand what it is. We got to teach them how to do it consciously. I went on a Cardis page the other day and I saw this dude, he was like, I hunt 2 deers a year and my family eats for a year. They only hunt 2 deers. 2 deers a year. That's still a conscious ass carnist. Think about, we've eradicated all the wolves, all that shit. If it wasn't for this dude, some of these people, there would be fucking deer everywhere eating up all the vegetation and then other animals wouldn't eat. So that guy's a conscious carnist in a sense. So how can you even call him, as a vegan, you got some vegans eating mad meat replacement, destroying their body, doing all this shit. They're gonna talk about the dude who eats 2 deers a year? What? That's what I'm saying. There's more to this, man. Doing and being are 2 different things. I can do a vegan diet, right? I can do meditation. I can do all this shit, right? But are you being it? Are you being spiritually inclined? Are you being aware? Are you being really woke? Right? But you can do it. Anyone can do it. They can go outside of themselves to do something. People do that at work every day, right? You do work, right? Do you ever be your work? Is your work ever being to you? Right? And these are questions we gotta start asking. This is why we gotta be easy. People gotta start being easy. This isn't about militant shit. None of this is militant. It's about focus and understanding. Focus and understanding. Loving. Focus, understanding, loving, right? We do galaxies here. We do galaxies here, right? But this is a galaxy. People fuck with me. This is a galaxy. Why is this a galaxy? Because galaxies gravitate. So you're gravitating you here, I'm gravitating you here to my heart and my mind, right? We gotta be more. Stop doing. Everyone here wants to do, right? I wanna do a fast, but are you being your fast? Is there even an intention behind your fast, or are you fasting to do it because you see a lot of other people are fasting? Are you being it, right? Is your fast you being you, right? You fasting from something? We gotta start to look at this stuff critically, right? We gotta be critical. And that's why I do this, right? Because I see a lot of people get caught in hype. There's a lot of hype on shit. There's a lot of hype on being woke. So everyone was trying to be woke. But then what did everyone start doing when they were being woke? They were just being mad negative, right? Fuck this system, fuck that system, fuck this, fuck that, blah, blah. But you gotta remember that within that same system, there's probably people getting benefits from it. So for some people, there's a positive side to that. Whoa, whoa, right? So just like Jesus, bro, Jesus was a devil to some people, but he was freaking the Son of God to other people. Whoa, whoa. In the time of Jesus, he was considered demonic, but we look at him like God. Whoa. So good and evil, what is that? It's a perspective, right? Everything is perspective. So are you doing or being perspectively? Questions. Questions we all need to start to sit down and answer. That's why meditation is key. That's why I don't say, what's the information you got? There's mad occult knowledge out here. It's the application of the occult knowledge. And occult knowledge, it gets applied through yourself, right? Because everyone out here trying to tell you how to manifest money, right? That's one of the first occult knowledge you see. How do you manifest money? Sit back and wait for it to come to you. How do you but depending on your astrological energy, you might see that that's not how you get what you want. If this person has certain astrological factors, the way they manifest money might be different than me. That's why I gotta still understand my chart. I still gotta understand my numerology. I still gotta sit back and meditate on how those lights refract on me. Because this is an illusion. If we're all being under this sun in this illusion, should we start questioning the illusion a bit? Is the sun the God? Who's that? What's going on here, right? Start asking these questions, but you just gotta check. You can't do that until you sit back and think. I gotta sit back and think, am I being or am I doing? That's why I'm switching this shit to I be. I be. Why do I be? Because I know what I'm doing. I know I'm not doing, I'm just living. I'm being. I'm being. I do certain things. If I feel like today I need to eat a cooked meal, I can eat a cooked meal. Because I know it's going to be healthy for me. I know what healthy food is. So I don't have to do anything else now. I know that I eat mostly fruit throughout my day, literally. I've been eating just dates, bananas, and coconut water in a smoothie, and then nuts, once or twice a day. But with that being said, I know that if I feel like, yo, I want to have a cooked meal today, I can. Why? Because that's me being me. I'm being. In that time, I know it's right, and I know that I'm not going to have a cooked meal of fucking a bunch of meat, all this stuff that I know in my reality isn't good. Now, my reality is different than yours. My reality is different than yours. And that's okay. That is okay. So stop worrying about doing and start worrying about being. Because anyone can do things. Anyone can do things. We see it all the time. You can do anything. If this world shows you anything, you can do anything. But are you being when you do it? Right? Are you being when you do it? When you do it? Everyone wants to talk to you about having moral, righteous goals and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, it's good. But some people, that's not you being you. Now you become a vessel for someone else. You just start spitting someone else's game. Spit your own game. Spit your own game. Because when you pass on, right, and you try and move up realities and all this, you think they're going to be worried about what you were trying to do for someone else or because someone else told you? Or are you going to be doing it because that was you being you? The universe is looking for you to be authentic to yourself. That's why it's giving you all these things to show you yourself. It's showing you how to be you. So why are you trying to be someone else? It's about being, not doing, right? I can go to 1 million charity events a year, but does that mean that I'm a charitable person in my being? Fuck no, right? You see people with $3 billion give $1 million away to charity, and then they don't do anything else for anyone else all year long. If someone was starving on the corner, they'd walk by. Is that a charitable person because they give that $1 million once a year? Nah, they're just doing it. So there's differences. There's levels to this. So that's why I'm saying we gotta understand the levels to this, yo. We gotta start looking deep, right? I don't want to be up on my media and come on my timeline and just see a bunch of people not thinking critically. Think critically and be in your knowledge. Take in your knowledge and sit on it for mad long. If you've been watching one person for a month straight, stop watching them, watch someone else. Take what you learned in 1 month and watch someone else. Why? Because now you're gonna be able to compare and contrast. Because if I keep my mind on one thing, I'm getting someone else's frequencies, like we talked about yesterday. Because everyone is frequenting, just like you are. So if I'm always catching highs and lows on someone else, I need to go peep someone else, because their highs might be different than another person's highs. So I could get a great perspective up here. And then I can start ditching out some of the lows here, right? But you gotta be mindful, right? You gotta be critical. You gotta stop doing and start being. I love myself. I love you all. Facts. I love you all. Facts. The reason why I jump on this thing is because I love you all. Cause if you guys knew what some people come at me with for making these videos, you'd be like, alright, this motherfucker must really love me. Yo, I fuck with y'all. But we gotta start doing, but I'm being, right? This is easy for me because I'm being. Anyone who says anything to me, I don't care, because I just be. I just chill. I chill. I love myself, you feel me? We gotta learn, right? I talked yesterday about vortexes, orbs, energy, energy is a suction cup, right? Know how to apply your knowledge in your light. Don't be falling up under everyone's energy. Apply your knowledge properly. Once you know something's a truth, live by the truth. But don't go and do stuff that's out of you to show that proof. No, learn how to do it within yourself and embody it. Everyone has different ways of embodying these spiritual truths. That's why spiritual teachers have come in all forms. Spiritual masters have come in all forms. Motherfucker, there's not been one fucking cookie cutter for every spiritual master, for every person who is in tune. There's not been a cookie cutter for it. So if anyone's telling you there's a cookie cutter for it, they're fucking with you. They're fucking with you. You gotta just learn how to do. Stop doing and learn how to be. I'm sorry. Stop doing shit and learn how to be. And then it becomes real. Because it's all real. And it's all an illusion at the same time. I've hid you. It's all real and it's all an illusion at the same time. It's about if you can be in it, what makes it real or not. Right? Because if you're just doing it, just to do it, it's an illusion. It's not real. There's no density. But if you're being in it, then it's easy. Then it's real. Right? Because what's the point of this life, right? I'm going to keep going with y'all. I got a little bit more for you guys before I go. Right? So when you eat healthy food, right? So if I'm a that, do you become lighter or heavier? You become lighter, correct? So when a lot of people take the way you eat means that you're more spiritually inclined, correct? Because you're more conscious, right? So if I become lighter, right? I'm lightening my load, right? I'm being able to elevate, right? Levitate, become higher, move all these things, right? Lightness, feather, these notions, right? But when I eat heavier foods, I become more dense, right? More to the ground, more insulated, things of that nature, right? So if you're always being heavy and judgmental on yourself, right? You're always being hard on yourself. Are you becoming denser or lighter? you're becoming denser, right? You're holding yourself to the ground more. You're becoming dense, heavy. There's a heaviness to you, right? But when you're being, you're light, right? If you're a simple person and you like laying on your ass all day long, when you just laying in your room and if you're laying in the house on the couch, you're light as hell, essentially, right? Because you're just being. So the key in life is not to do, it's to be. Because when I be, I'm lighter. Because we're all trying to get spiritually lighter. We're trying to get spiritually lighter, not denser, right? So the more judgmental I am on myself, the harder I am on myself, the more I become dense. The more, just like the more I eat, the more I throw stuff in my mouth, I become denser. I become heavy, weighted down. I eat healthier, I become lighter, right? I'm happier, I'm light on my feet, I skip, right? You skip, you become light, because you're moving up, you're ascending, lightness, right? That's why Zen masters, look at all these Zen Buddhists, right? You know their afterlife is crazy because they're so light. Don't be heavy. Peace, reflection. Oh, I'm sorry that's blocked. What? That's crazy. Have a great day. Thank you for stopping in, right? We gotta be lighter on ourselves. Don't be heavy. Be easy on yourself. Be easy. So the only way I can be easy is if I'm doing, right? Because doing means that once you've gotten the knowledge, because you have to trust yourself. Trust yourself that once you got the knowledge, you'll be able to apply the knowledge, right? Because everyone has to have that trust in themselves first. That's how you do, right? The first step to doing is having. I have to have the knowledge. I have the knowledge, I apply the knowledge, then I'm doing, right? I'm doing, then I can be in my knowledge. But if I find that I get the knowledge, I do it the first time, and it's hard for me to keep doing it, then I know I'm not being with this knowledge and I gotta stop. I gotta stop because that doesn't resonate with me. That's why I say, it might not be for everyone to be plant-based. Some people might be fruitarians. Some people might be plant-based. Some people might just be a more contemporary vegan right now. You can only say that because what you can do, right? It's what you can do. I mean, what you can be, I'm sorry. What you can be, not what you can do. Because anyone can do anything, right? Anyone could do the fruitarian diet. Anyone could eat fruit all day. However, some people's beings aren't ready for that yet. You're not ready to be in that knowledge yet. Once you're ready to be in that knowledge, it'll be easy. It'll be super easy. Doesn't mean you can't try it, right? Try it fast, try this stuff. However, don't just adopt it and do it all the time because you think you're being something. If you're being, you'll just one day feel like, yo, I want to fast. That's how I do it. That's how I do it. All of a sudden, one day I'll be like, damn, I think I'm going to fast this weekend. People will be like, what the fuck? Why? I kind of feel like it. I'm just going to go 3-day fast real quick. Why? Because for me, that's being. For me, that's being. You ask any person who's been around me, they just come up to me and they're like, yo, why? You want to go out to you? I'm like, nah, I can't fast tonight. What? Why? Oh, why are you fasting? No, I feel like I need to fast. I don't even fast because I eat bullshit. I just fast. I'll eat healthier than most of the people around me. I still fast. Like, I'll be like, damn, I just had some, I don't know what the fuck. I'll have a few days of cooked food in a row. I'll be like, damn, I gotta fast. People be like, yo, what? I'll be like, yeah, fucked up. Right? But you just look like everyone's got a different being, right? Your being might be different than mine, right? So don't do just because everyone's beautiful in their knowledge. Everyone needs to have confidence in their knowledge. And the only way to have confidence in your knowledge and yourself and understand yourself is to be, not to do. Because anyone could do shit. But it's hard to be shit. Facts? Facts. Right? Anyone could work at a job and do that shit, but it's hard to be that shit, right? It's hard to be it all the time. And that's my challenge. That's my IB challenge. Are you being today? How are you being? What does it mean to be you? What does being you entail? Not what you're doing. How are you being today? You should start asking people that. Fuck it up, right? Cause when people ask me what I do, because people love asking me what I do. Yo, what do you do for work? What do you do? I be, bruh. I be. They're like, what? They get step back. What do you mean you be? I don't know. I just be. I don't know how to describe what the fuck I do. I just be. Like, yo, if I feel like doing some shit, I do it. If I don't, fuck it, I don't. I just be. So why don't you ask people how they're being? Ask someone else that. Before someone asks you what you do for work, ask them how they're being. How are you being today? What? Who are you? Who do you be? I be on it all night, man. I be on it all day, right? That was a real song we think about. I might make that my anthem. But ask people that. How are you being? What are you being? What do you do to be? Think about that. I love you all. I love myself. I be.